The journey is almost over. All the time that we have spent with Phoenix Games is almost at a close. Today, I look at some of the games that I missed along my journey looking through Phoenix Games, as well as some of the games that came out after 2007, because pretty much 2007 was the last really active year for Phoenix Games. After that, they kind of just slowly but surely faded into obscurity. Those games we're going to be looking at today consist of 3 PlayStation 2 games that I missed, and 5 Nintendo DS games. Because yes, Phoenix Games did go into the Nintendo DS market. They even actually went into the Wii market. Even though, by doing so, they probably signed their own death warrant. But I think Phoenix Games couldn't keep up with the times, as the times kept rolling. And budget games of their kind were just not as viable and didn't pay the bills no more, you know? But anyway, let's jump right in to the 3 PlayStation 2 games that I missed. Let's go. First up, we have Finkels World. Yeah, what an interesting name. A puzzle matching game, and if the cover is anything to go by, boom. It's one of those games, you know, Jello, you know, Monster Eggs, yeah, the same kind of shit as that. So yeah, Finkels World, and pretty much those games were developed by a company known as Cyberplanet Interactive. And yeah, it's a matching game. It's the kind of matching game you would see on a browser, if you went on free games online, or you went on your phone and looked up a puzzle matching game. That's pretty much what it is. You have these little these little, I don't know, baby Teletubbies or whatever the fuck these things are, flying around on flowers, believe it or not, and you basically click on them and they'll drop, and yeah, and yes, it gets me every time, the whole entire mouse cursor on these games. Because, look, why is there a mouse cursor on these games? 100% this has got to be, they must have released this on PC at some point, you know, but fuck knows where and when, because I do know that some of these Phoenix Games video games did come on PC, but, you know, they're very, like, elusive is the word I want to use. You can't really find them. You try searching them and you don't get really next to nothing. For example, one of the PS2 games I'll be looking at to get today, I've seen has a PC version, but you try to find it, yeah, good luck with that. But yeah, so it's a basic puzzle matching game. The sound was quite distorted in this game, probably because of the emulator. But yeah, it's pretty boring. You just match things up. I just gave up in the end and was just clicking on every new one appeared. I just clicked on it, and I was joining them together and shit. So, but yeah. It's a pretty boring puzzle matching game. Didn't really got much going for it. And that's all I really have to say on it. You know, Cyberplanet Interactive clearly are very lazy developers. Just like mere mortals. You know, just like most of the developers that work under fucking Phoenix Games, isn't it? Funny. Funny enough. Next up we have Dynamite 100. And yes, I may have not mentioned the reason why I missed these games. It's mainly down to the fact that Game FAQs doesn't list these games, and I only found them after doing a little bit more research at the end. So yeah, Dynamite 100. It's a collection of mini games, 100 mini games to be exact, and it's all shit. I'm not even joking, right? These are all the games you got. You got different colors to represent different games, but here you go. Have a look at this. This is Pool. Looks like something you made in Microsoft PowerPoint. And you think, oh no, but this must be the only one. Nope. Here you go. Here's another one. Shoot the targets. This one's called Target. See? Target. Let's have a look at another one, man. Oh, basketball. I wonder what this one's like. Same space background, just with a different color. Oh look, it's a 2D game where you move the basketball into the hoop, into the frying What is that? It looks like a frying thing you can put in the deep fat fryer. Yeah, and this is the caliber of games. This is every game on this collection. Every game in Dynamite 100 is like this. They're all 2D games, which, let's be honest, look like they were made in Microsoft PowerPoint. I know I've made that joke already, but it's perfect. It just looks so much like that. Here's one called Sorting. Literally, balls go along a line and you press a button and they absorb that ball. Here's Pingus, the literal default game that, you know, when you go press start, this is the default game it goes on to. It's fucking Pong. Pingus. I have nothing to say. It functions. Yeah, but it's a bunch of really, really shitty. Here's, you know, here's 2020 the game. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Boom! Nail 2020. There you go. There's 2020 the game. But this is less than what you would find on Newgrounds. It's so dog shit. Here's Sniper. Guess what it is? You are literally the Death Star, and these guys are spinning towards you. You literally just press, you know, press triangle when it goes within the crosshair. Boom. It's so lazy. But yes, this is Dynamite 100, a complete lazy fucking buttfuck of video games. It's just, I can't believe that they released this. It's just so shit. This is worse than one of those 400,000 games in one collection you could get on PCs. Worse than that. Honestly, fucking hell. I've never seen such shit. Possibly, worst Phoenix Games video game? It's up there. It's fucking up there. Anyway, let's move on. And here's the final PlayStation 2 game that I'll be looking at today. Arcade Action. Very similar menu structure, right? Loads of games, you know, 30 in total, because I'm pretty sure it's called Arcade Action 30 Games, this one. So, yeah. So, again, Golf Masters, Cano Battles. I don't know who developed these games, because it just kind of just says Phoenix Games. These games are only on Giant Bomb, so... But here's the first game, Stonekeeper. This is the game that, the game defaults on when you press start. So I wonder what kind of game Stonekeeper is. Oh, look, it's Pong! It's fucking Pong again! It's Pong again! They fucking love their Pong, don't they? At least with the other game, you had a cool name like Pingus. This one's just Stonekeeper. So yeah, this basically is the same collection as before, here and there. Just, they're in 100 games. Here's Airport. It's Snake. It's literally Snake. It's like a versus Snake. So, yeah. But yeah, this collection seems to be pretty much identical to that of Dynamite 100 in structure. Just that Dynamite 100 was all 2D games, and this one is 3D. Barely 3D at this rate. But yes, it's just a load of mini games, and they're all pretty terrible mini games. Once again, it's kind of bad. Here's Barbarian Invasion. What do you kind of expect from that game? Oh look, a game where you bounce another form of Pong. Pretty much another form of Pong. Thereabouts. Just another form of Pong. That's all it is. But you wouldn't think you wouldn't think this game would be called Barbarian Invasion, would you? What about another one? Here's The Wall. I thought this was going to be Breakout. Fucking close enough. But no, you don't get the break blocks, you just bounce the fucking ball from the wall. It's like a real shitty version of squash. If you could even fucking compare it to that. Or racquetball, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's, How about Golf Masters? Mini golf. That plays like shit. Like, literally. Remember Crazy Golf? You know, I actually gave that game credit because it was, you know, it wasn't very imaginative, but it was visually quite pleasing and controlled fine. Welcome to a really shitty mini golf game where I have no control over the power and the CPU has perfect shots. As you just saw there, that was the CPU that just got that hole in one. Literally, I have no power of no hold over any kind of power when it comes to my shot. So, you know, you just press the X button and it goes. You aim the ball to a direction, press the X button and it goes. You don't have any control over how much power you put into it or anything. It just goes. So yeah, there's arcade action. Fucking dog shit game. But like I said, these games aren't on Game FAQs. Just find them on Giant Bomb. Don't think there's any other games. As far as I know, yeah, these are the only 3 PlayStation 2 games I missed. If I missed some others, I'm sorry, but I tried to cover them all. But yeah, arcade action. Now, let's have a look at the 5DS games, shall we? We move into different territory. Instead of games I missed, we're moving into games that were released after 2007, so 2008 onwards. Oh no! Oh dear! Should have fucking known, right? So, here's Adventures of Pinocchio. You know, Pinocchio for the PlayStation 2. Yeah, they ported it to the Nintendo DS, and believe it or not, they also ported it to the Wii as Adventures of Pinocchio. It's the same fucking game. So, same mini-games, same paint mini-games. At least it runs better than it did on the PlayStation 2 emulator. You know, on the DS emulator it runs better, but yeah. So they released Pinocchio in, what was it, 2006? They released Pinocchio, and then 2007, and then 3 years later they ported the games to the DS and the Wii. And it makes me laugh, and I'll tell you why it makes me laugh. It's because these are the games that Phoenix Games thought would be best to port to the DS and Wii. They didn't go with some of their more unique games like Crazy Golf or some of the shitty fucking racing games. They went with these. And I reckon this was the downfall of Phoenix Games. They literally chose to port the shitty Aqua Pacific movie games to PC, as well as the like, I think some of the Dingo Pictures shit, possibly. But here's the movie. By the way, the movie plays like shit on this for some reason. I don't know why. So not only does the movie play like shit on the PS2 version, it plays like shit on the DS emulator. But I don't know why. Maybe the DS emulator on the original hardware might play fine. But yeah, if you wanted to watch that shitty Pinocchio film on your DS, here you go. If you want to watch it on your Wii, you can do that as well. And that's the reason why I ain't looking at any of the Wii games, because the Wii games that were made by Phoenix Games, they're only ports of the Aqua Pacific. Well, I'm just gonna say movie games. The ports of the movie games, of the animated movie games. That's all they are. So there's no point. I don't mind having a look at 1 or 2, and that's what I'm doing. Adventures of Pinocchio, and I'm now looking at one other. But there's no point me looking at any more than that. But I'll give you an idea of what basically they did when I talk about the next game. But yeah, it's just, this one's just as shit as the original. Then let's move on to the next DS game. Here's the only other port I'm going to look at, and that's Peter Pan's Playground. Yes, I realize that it says Pinocchio up there. I made that mistake, but don't worry, we're going to change boom, there you go. There it is. The cover is just as fucking dog shit as the PlayStation 2 version. So yes, they decided to re-release Peter Pan as Peter Pan's Playground on the DS and Wii. And it's the same fucking shit. Same shit. Now, the other games that they did this treatment to, Dalmatians. You remember Dalmatians 2 on the PlayStation 1, Dalmatians 3 on the PlayStation 2. Well, guess what you have now? You got Dalmatians 4! Dalmatians 4 on the DS and Wii! Oh! In case you're wondering, I'm pretty sure they also did the Cinderella game. I remember seeing the Cinderella game on the Wii. I think it was, again, it wasn't just simply called Cinderella, it was called Cinderella something. But they basically did it for all the movie games, and like I said just now, I believe that this was the downfall of their company, porting all these games. Maybe they were just easy to port, no effort. The only difference here is that the movie actually plays decently, if you could call it that. Fucking the movie looks like it moves at fucking couple of frames a second, but there was no glitches or stuttering in the audio, so I assume the movie was playing as intended. There's a first for everything, I guess. But yeah. So yeah, these are the only ports I'm going to look at for the Wii the DS games. I'm not looking at any of the Wii games. I can't be bothered to go through the hassle of fucking setting up my fucking Wii remote to work with the Dolphin emulator just to fucking play pretty much this, what I'm playing now on the DS. It's fucking pointless. So there you go. Now we're moving on to the more interesting DS games. Let's go. So the first unique DS game is hardly unique, and you'll see why right now. Boom. What does this remind you of? What does this gameplay remind you of? This is Polar Rampage for the DS. Came out in 2008. What does this remind you of? I'll tell you what it reminds me of. It reminds me of Caveman Rock for the PlayStation 2. Because believe it or not, yes! This game is developed by Cyberplanet Interactive. Of course. So basically what they've done is they've ported Caveman Rock to... They've ported Caveman Rock to the DS and turned it into robots. And I think the plot now is these robots are trying to stop the Ice Age or something. Because those little red and blue gems are actually supposed to be icebergs. And you may be thinking, hey, this can't just be simply a copy of Polar Rampage, of Caveman Rock, right? But then you see this stuff. Remember this from Caveman Rock, where you level up these little creatures? Well, yeah, they have it in this game as well. So, it leads me to believe it's a port. It's basically a port of Caveman Rock where they've changed the assets. That's all it is. Changed it to make it look like a different game when it's actually the same game. Yeah, but the one thing I will say is it works better on the DS, 100%. You know, which is, you know... I've seen this game before. I'm pretty sure that actually has an official name, this game. I don't know what it's called, though. But yeah, it's functional, and yeah, if I be completely honest, it's probably the best Phoenix Games video game on this collection that I'm covering today. So, that really is saying something, isn't it? But yeah, it works, it's functional, it's easy to get a hold of, and yeah, it's okay. It's just match up the gems together. You know, if you manage to knock off some extra gems, you can be able to combo, get extra points. You level up these creatures, and they evolve into different stages of fucking Digimon or whatever the fuck these things are. His Pinecone, Tomato Fit Robot. I mean, they fucking evolve into a Beyblade. I'm just fucking joking now, but obviously. Yeah, it's okay. That's all I got to say. The next two games, on the other hand, are much different. Much different. They're going to be very, very much disappointing. Okay, let's go, shall we? Let's just get on. Let's just get over and done with. Next up, we have 12 family games. Yes, or just simply 12, because you could never tell from this cover. And yes, the main menu looks like a phone. I don't know why. Maybe they're saying like oh, these games could run on mobile, on one of the old mobile phones. I don't know. But yeah, it consists of 12 games. They're all 2D games, and if I'll be honest, the sprite works pretty good on these games. Look like a nice little SNES game or something, but the games aren't particularly imaginative. So here's one called, I think, Lolly Rolling, where you're just going along, rolling a lolly. You're a little mouse rolling a lolly. There are other games like Phil Love, whatever this is. Looks like a matching game. You know, you got Dice, which looks like another matching game. So yeah, it's a pretty, like, kind of bare bones, basic mini game, video game for the DS. Little collection on the DS. It's one of those types of games. And there's two different covers for this. There's one that has the Phoenix Games logo and one that doesn't. So it looks like Phoenix Games might have published this game in certain territories and not in others. Looks like possibly the standard European version doesn't have their logo, but maybe the Holland version has, because they maybe published in Holland, because that's where they're based. But yeah, you have games like this, which I think is called Zesty Grill, where you just put stuff on the grill, wait a little bit, and wait, and then eat it once it turned brown. And that's it. It's just, yeah. Exciting game right there. Exciting game. I only played about. I only played 4 of the games on here, I think, because yeah, the matching. I didn't want to play a matching one or nothing. You know, here's Mr. Oil. Don't know why it's called Mr. Oil. Not a fucking clue. But basically, I think that this woman is chucking trash. She's just chucking trash in the air. And you got to avoid all the like fish bones and broken bottles. And what you got to collect is the actual blue bottles and white bottles while avoiding the dog. And that actually has oil in it, I think, or something. But all of these games don't require you to use it. Literally, the stylus touchscreen's only used to select a game, and you don't even have to use it to select a game. You can pick something. You can literally just use the D-pad, and then every single game requires use of the D-pad and face buttons. No touchscreen controls whatsoever. Here's a racing game where you're playing as a bull. Like I said, the sprite work looks nice in these games. I'll give it that. But as actual games, they're kind of boring. It's kind of like the kind of budget games that you would have got back on the SNES. But now it's on the DS. Technology's gone a lot further. And yeah, it's not worth 12 not worth your time video games is what I would say. Definitely. Right, let's have a look at the final game now. And here we have finally Valentine's Day. Yeah, they made a game called Valentine's Day. Now you might think, why are you pausing, Bio? Well, I haven't really got anything to say about this game, because look at it. The game is a matching game. That is the whole game. And it's not even like, not a puzzle matching game or anything like we've seen previously. It literally is like a memory game. A bunch of, you're playing as a character on a bike, I think, and you have to deliver Valentine's Day gifts to people who've requested it. So basically you're working for Moonpig or some affiliate company, some flower shop or something, who knows, right? And basically you'll get these characters appear on the screen. They'll be asking for a necklace or flowers or a t-shirt, and you just got to drag the items as they appear on the touchscreen to the required individual who requires that item. That's the whole game. I know, I was just as shocked. I have nothing else to say. I've got nothing. It's a waste of fucking time. This is probably... this is very, very, very much... This could be the worst Phoenix Games video game of all time, just based on effort alone. At least the racing games, even though they're copy and paste, you're changing assets, I don't know, you're trying to make a racing game, and each racing game felt different because some controlled much worse than the others. But with this is just, yeah. You've turned basically what would effectively be one mini-game in an Aqua Pacific Dingo Pictures movie game into a whole game. That's pretty fucking stupid. That's pretty fucking scummy. So yeah, Valentine's Day. Complete waste of existence. And there we go. That's all of the Phoenix games that I'm willing to cover. All of them. And yeah, okay, you may go, oh, but Bio, you've missed Dalmatians 4, you've missed a... Yeah, I don't care about those ports, right? I don't care. I've stated that like once, twice, 3 times in this video. And I'll state it a 4th time as well. I'm not going to have a look at them. I had a look at 2. That was good enough. We got an idea of what those games would probably be like. Pretty much the same thing, just with touch controls. Pretty much the same thing, just with Wii motion controls. Yeah, pathetic. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste of my time. But we got to see some of the DS games. The DS games that I guess were not based on anything. It's funny, isn't it? This like they're just like mini game kind of things. It's just, I don't know. It's weird. And then you had Valentine's Day. It's contended for probably the worst Phoenix Games video game out there. But yeah, but that's it. That's all, everything for Phoenix Games. What else is there to cover? If I be completely honest with you, that's the end of Phoenix Games. There was one other video, which I might have mentioned before, that I'm thinking of doing, but it all depends whether or not. It all depends on a lot of factors. I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to ruin it for you, because I don't know whether or not game in question is even made by Phoenix Games. So, but in case you're wondering, just at the end of this video, I'm just going to explain a few things. Phoenix Games had quite a few divisions. You didn't just have the Holland branch. There was also, I think, a branch in China, which will play a part in the next video, if I'm able to do that video. I think there was a branch in some other places as well. So, I'll just have a quick look a minute. I have no notes to go on. And pretty much all my videos are just ad-libbed. So, but yeah, so I'm pretty sure they had other studios in other places, but it just makes me laugh. Like Iron Chef, there we go. Iron Chef. In case you're wondering, Iron Chef also was ported to the DS. Fucking brilliant. Cinderella's Fairy Tale is what it's called. Got another one, and they're all considered to be lost media of some kind. Princess Snow White, Monster Eggs 2, Hoppy 2. Fucking hell. So yeah, brilliant, right? Fucking amazing. But yeah, they had. If I remember reading that they did have actually some studios in some other countries, and one of them was China, which again plays a part. So we'll see. We'll maybe see how it goes. But for now, this is the end of Phoenix Games. I'm not returning. At the moment, I'm not returning anyway. So I hope you've enjoyed the ride. It's been a long one. I don't think anyone else but myself can have the honor of playing pretty much every Phoenix Games video game out there. Who else can say they've played every single Phoenix Games video game? No one. Because no one wants to make that claim. No one wants to fucking admit to that. But I have, unfortunately. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this series. I hope you've enjoyed me looking at all of these Phoenix Games video games, because I sure haven't. Hope you liked the video. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya.